Want to help the channel? Go to shopclownfish.com where you can check out official Clownfish TV merchandise in our brand new shop. It helps us out. Also, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/clownfishtv for more art and gaming live streams that we don't do on YouTube. We want to see you over there as well. Now let's get into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we've got an update on the Twitter debacle.
Okay.
The Twitter Bitcoin debacle. Now, last night, we did a video talking about how all the poor little blue checks
that was funny.
Weren't allowed to tweet because of the Bitcoin hack.
But a lot of people, I think, are saying that that was a smokescreen.
They think it might be a smokescreen for something more insidious, and it is actually pretty serious because there is the potential that DMs from political figures could have been stolen. There's the potential for DMs from Hollywood figures being stolen, journalists being stolen, God knows what else.
Oh, so we can find all the collusion behind the scenes to block people. Or
well, we're going to talk about that.
Or...
We're going to talk about, because Twitter does have a blacklist, even though they said they didn't.
Oh, really?
Really? Dun, dun, dun! Yeah, they did. This is actually on their dashboard. And then we're going to talk about how Rian Johnson gave up the ghost. He's no longer on Twitter. And people,
nothing of value was lost.
People are wondering, why is Rian Johnson off of Twitter?
Probably all his DMs got hacked where, he talked about how he could, make fun of the fans or do
man
shitty
babies
things or whatever. Yeah.
The man babies. Yeah. So this could wind up having a very long tail on it. We joked about it last night, and then the more, I thought about it, the more I saw, news coming out about it, and I talked to a couple people on Twitter, ironically enough, about it. It became obvious that this is actually very, very serious.
It is. And
it shows, well, one, it shows Twitter is a platform you should not trust, because they can't even get the basics right.
From my understanding, they went and they hacked the accounts, the people that had access. So they gave themselves God status or whatever.
Yeah, and they think that it was an inside job. They think that Twitter employees were the weakest link, that they were either bribed or they had some ulterior motive or what. But yeah, I
thought this got hacked, but okay.
Well, they think that they helped the hackers. So we're going to talk about this whole situation. What we know, I don't think we're going to get a straight story for a while.
No, we're never, forever. I don't think we're going to get a straight story ever. Let's just,
But, the fact that there are potentially, beyond the millions of dollars that got dumped into Bitcoin, there is the potential that a whole bunch of unsavory DMs could come out at some point in time. And if there ever was a better incentive to get off of Twitter, I can't think of it, because clearly the platform's not safe. So let's talk about this. Newsweek. Twitter DMs of Obama, Elon Musk, and Joe Biden could have been stolen in the hack. And that pretty much any blue check, I think, that was hacked. So they said absolutely. This is coming from Jackie Singh, the founder of Spyglass Security. She said absolutely 100% that DMs could have been compromised. Look at, they had God mode with seemingly few limitations. Yep. And we don't know how long they had it for. Singh said the hackers responsible, who remain unidentified at the time of writing, appeared to have more control than simply posting updates. They were seen tweeting from compromised accounts, while some posts promoting the cryptocurrency scam had been pinned at the top of multiple hijacked profiles. Yeah, if you had Obama's Twitter account, or Elon Musk's Twitter account, you're not going to look in the DMs?
Oh, yeah, of course you are.
Of course you are. And who knows? Again, there are some people speculating that this was, a smokescreen, that they're actually looking to get dirt on politicians, celebrities, journalists.
For what? Extortion?
Extortion, or
just to put it out there, cause chaos.
Watch the world burn, And that's the thing. Any platform like this, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or whatever, you shouldn't be sending super ridiculous, secretive stuff.
Would they have gotten anything? Because technically they aren't supposed to be using Twitter to put important information in DMs.
Well, why was Hillary Clinton sending stuff via private email? This is the thing. It's these social media platforms aren't safe. So I guess my thing is, you know, I'm not just talking about talking smack about people. I'm talking like if you're sending photos of things you shouldn't be taking photos of in the first place, or
oh yeah, sharing things you shouldn't be sharing.
Right. You know, and if think about it before you send it to somebody and be like, if somebody would break into my Twitter and they found this, would I go to jail? If the answer is yes.
You mean like pedestrian pictures?
Right. They got, you know, apparently they had control of Hollywood people. God only knows what's in there. We know that
Epstein, probably information on Epstein and stuff like that.
Rian Johnson has left the building. This was kind of funny. This is Jenny Nicholson who posted that sick Disney blogger that didn't actually, that she only had a nut allergy. You know, the one that was vomiting from the nut allergy. Said that us trying to look at Rian Johnson's Twitter.
That's not the face we usually make. The face we usually make some like eye roll or like laughing emoji or something.
Not saying that there's. I'm just saying. I mean, Rian Johnson purged his Twitter before. Most celebrities.
It's really weird that he did it again, but by then it would have already been taken. So
yeah, I would say at this point, if you are a celebrity, okay, get the hell off of Twitter. You know, if you're a blue check celebrity, get off of Twitter because the cancel mob is out there. And maybe that's what did it. Maybe Rian Johnson, maybe he was like, yeah, I don't want to be canceled. I'm out of here. You know?
I don't know. It just looks suspicious. You get hacked.
Weird. There's nothing.
People get hacked, and all of a sudden he deletes it for no reason.
There's no warning like, hey, fam, I'm out of here. You know, or I'm leaving tomorrow. Now we know that comic book artist Sean Gordon Murphy left, but he told people I'm leaving Twitter tomorrow night or something like that. Like, you've got time. I'm saying goodbye. In this case, Rian Johnson, apparently he just disappeared.
Yeah.
He's just gone. He's just gone.
And again, nothing of value was lost. But yeah, this does not look good. It makes you feel insecure. And so maybe a lot of these people that hold court over there are going to hightail it someplace else. But as our daughter pointed out, she said last night, she goes, I don't want Twitter to burn. Because if it burns, they're going to go someplace else and mess that up. This is coming from my 12-year-old.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because where do these people come from? The crazies on Twitter? They came from Tumblr. When Tumblr started to decline, when Tumblr started to burn, they hopped in the rowboats and they came over to Twitter. Right. Twitter 5 years ago was a very different place than it is now.
She's like, quarantine them to Twitter. That's what she said. This is coming from my 12-year-old. Quarantine them to Twitter.
Keep them on Twitter, for God's sake. Then you can just leave Twitter and leave them to
each other.
Run the asylum, right? So they think that there was a compromise within Twitter. They think employees helped whoever did this.
They heard. I didn't hear that they thought employees helped. I heard that they thought employees were hacked.
No, they said Twitter didn't break, an employee did. They said the specifics of how the attack happened are unconfirmed, but Twitter announced Wednesday night it suspected a coordinated social engineering attack.
I heard that.
By people who successfully targeted some of our employees with access to internal systems and tools. So here's the really big problem. Because Twitter has, I believe for some time, denied that there was favoritism on the platform.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting.
No. Actually, they do have the ability to shadow ban, to permanently suspend accounts, which we know they can ban accounts or whatever. But they also have these other, this is coming from their dashboard, they also have the ability to, block you from search results.
Oh, it blocks trends, so that they don't like the trend. They can block.
You don't trend, yep.
Yeah, they can block that, so it's not trending. That explains some things.
Yeah, so, I don't know. This is what's going around. I mean, I don't know if this is 100% legit. Some people are saying it looks fake. The UI is so bad, nothing Twitter makes looks this bad. I don't know, unless this is an old system. Because, look, I worked for software companies before, and it's not consistent. Like, we had legacy apps and legacy systems, and we were still running some of our systems off of freaking DOS and Windows 3.1. But then we had, all.
But that was a while ago.
Yeah, but I'm saying we still had a lot of the front end stuff look pretty for the customers. It looked pretty, but you go into the back end of our system and it was antiquated because it was like, we were building off of like 20 years worth of work. So, I mean, it's possible.
Well, yeah, you have to keep the old stuff running with the new stuff.
Yeah. And as long as it looks good for the customers, that's fine. But if you mess with it too much on the back end, so it
can break.
We don't know what's going on, but this seems to be the case that there are shadow bans. There are people who are dissuaded from being able to be found. So you might not be banned, but Twitter might be like, oh, you're problematic. We're not going to let you trend. We're not going to show you in the search results, which means that you're not going to get as many followers. You know, and it depends. It could be anybody at Twitter could just like push a button and be like, yeah, you're problematic.
Right. Yeah. So it's just, you know, it's a control thing. I don't think anybody'd be surprised. That might not even be the actual dashboard, but I don't think anybody's going to be surprised if they had the capability to do that, because it's been long rumored for good reason.
Yep. So that is something that came out because of this. Wired even said Twitter is at its best when verified accounts can't tweet. Twitter at one point in time, I know it's hard to believe, but we've been on Twitter pretty much since the beginning. And at one point in time, it actually was nice. It was great. It was a nice change from, at the time, you know, we had MySpace back then or whatever, but it was cool to be able to talk to people. It was like a giant chat room, party atmosphere, especially in comics Twitter, because everybody was just, you know, talking about comic books and sharing art.
Everybody got along, and here's the kicker. Once upon a time, people actually got along with most everybody else, and if you disagreed with them, that was okay. It was okay, agree to disagree, let's talk about something else. And it worked. Until certain people came in and has made everything a fight for no reason, just because they wanted to be in control.
Yeah, they said for a few hours last night, this is, again, coming from Wired, a few hours last night, we had no check marks. Frankly, it might be the best thing that happened on Twitter in a while. It wasn't fun for the scores of users, including Wired, who fear for the safety of their accounts. It's also horrifying to think of the magnitude of harm a hack
It really
like this
could, guys.
Could, yeah, it could be. But for everyone else, the people who normally don't wield the largest megaphones, it was paradise. Fewer self-important windbags, fewer politicians, even news outlets were being locked out. And in the era of doom scrolling, this can be a blessing. There might have been a minute where President Trump couldn't get a word in edgewise.
Oh, of course, he had to get that in there. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say the same for, you know, all these loud voices, the journalists, the self-important comic book artists, the, you know, all these people couldn't talk, so we actually had real people talking on Twitter, and that's how it used to be before they were doing verification. They only did it for like major celebrities and stuff like that, but now, you know, like I said, anybody writes a freaking 2 articles for Polygon and they get a blue check.
Right. Yeah. Oh, if you write for the right place, that's right.
For the right
place. You might
place.
have be nobody, but it's because you wrote a couple things for the right outlet that's friends with somebody, you suddenly are blue checked.
Yeah. It's 2040. Son, Dad, was there any part of 2020 that was good? Me. For about 1 hour in July, verified people on Twitter couldn't tweet. Yeah, and that's when things started to come off the rails, when people started pulling the superiority card with other people because they were blue checks. And Twitter, honestly, they do favor the blue checks. The blue checks are going to rise to the top, and it didn't take much to get verified a couple of years ago, but now it's harder, and all the crazy.
Now, unless you're the right kind of person or know somebody, forget it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just gonna call it like it is.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting to watch. Yeah, we don't know what happened to Rian Johnson. I couldn't find any. I was trying to find any news articles. Like, did Rian Johnson talk to any, comicbook.com or anything like that about why he left? And no, he did not. Maybe the people who hacked it really hated The Last Jedi, and they're just like, and they just deleted him completely. But he'd be out there squawking about
he
something.
Would be, so something's up with that.
I think there are some. I'm gonna be honest. I think there are some Hollywood types. Again, not saying Rian Johnson in particular, but if I were a Hollywood blue check and I've said some shit in DMs or sent some photos or something that I should not have, I would be very, very, very worried, because God only knows what kind of information these people have. And if they were, pulling a Bitcoin scam, they could come knocking and be like, you give us $5 million or we post all the pictures that you were trading in your DMs.
Well, here's the thing too. I always think that if you're going to say something on DMs, always consider the fact that you might accidentally slip up and it would get posted publicly. And if that's something that you don't want posted publicly because of oops a moment, I wouldn't do it. I mean, we've all been there where we said something and we thought it was going to one person and it went to the wrong person.
Yes, we call it JKing. JK, yeah, for those of you who didn't catch previous video, JK Rowling thought she was copying and pasting part of an article about trans feminism or something and sending it to a private individual. Instead, she attached it to a child's photo and tweeted it on her public timeline.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
But I'm saying we've all done that, not that, but we've all done something where we thought we were sending it to one person and we sent it to the wrong person, or something we were trying to keep secret got out because we hit public, or, we've seen it happen before with different people. Just remember that if you put it on a message, it could end up getting out there. So try to keep that in mind.
Even that, the person that you're DMing with, this happens we're seeing this in comics right now with that whole, Mean Girls clique on Facebook. If there's somebody in your group that gets pissed off at you for whatever reason,
they'll air it out there.
All they got to do is take screen captures and post it, and you see all these forums that are filled with all these private messages of people.
Oh, did yours watch Mean Girls?
I haven't watched Mean Girls,
because the one part she takes there's a notebook they write nasty things about everybody in, and she takes and writes a bunch of stuff about herself in it, and then turns it in and says that they wrote it about her even though they didn't, and then sits and cries about, well, I would not write that about myself. And then it sets the whole school on fire about who wrote what, and it turned out a bunch of people said a lot of shitty things.
Oh, God.
And it was all in this book. So, that's kind of what it is. They're going to turn on you, or I wouldn't put it past people to write something and say, they wrote it about me. Now watch people use that now. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you should be concerned. You should have been concerned to begin with. Like, people don't realize, like, you're using these platforms, but they're not completely private. Anybody at Twitter has access to your private messages. It's not 100% private. And they're asking why, some people are asking now why the DMs aren't encrypted. If we have blue checks or politicians, why? Well, politicians shouldn't be sending important information on DMs on Twitter. I mean, there should have been official channels anyway. You shouldn't be DMing each other important, information that could get hacked that easy. I mean, they had two-factor authentication, but even then, they had a direct link. They said whatever it was, they had a direct way to bypass it. Yeah. It's becoming more and more common, guys. This stuff happens often.
Yeah, they're talking about, 2 years ago, the government talked to Jack Dorsey and was like, you really need to encrypt this stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, again.
But he also said that, the blacklisting and stuff doesn't actually occur.
Right. So, my feeling on this is, if you're a politician or a celebrity, you shouldn't be saying shitty things back channel, because there's no guarantee that it's not going to get out to the public. Mm-hmm. And I am wondering if it's not going to wind up, that the Bitcoin wasn't just a smokescreen, that there's going to be, a lot of dirty laundry aired for whatever reason. People have all kinds of theories about who was ultimately behind it and why they were ultimately behind it. But when you're dealing with government officials, powerful Hollywood people, I'm sure there's a lot of shit in the DMs that could get a lot of people in trouble.
Yeah, especially since they seem to congregate on Twitter anymore.
Yeah. So again, just another reason. That's so weird. We did a video on Twitter 2 days before this happened, talking about how Twitter is ground zero for cancel culture, how Twitter is cancer, and how you should get off of Twitter. And then this happens. Mm-hmm. But I'm with our daughter. I really would like all the crazy people to just stay over there.
Yeah, just keep them quarantined. Keep them quarantined to Twitter. Then we can all go be happy. That's what she.
Yeah, pretty much.
From a 12-year-old. So
yeah, it's just you guys run the asylum however you feel like, and we'll just go elsewhere. I'm not tweeting from my personal account anymore. I don't miss it. I forget to check it, to even see if people are sending DMs.
I do stuff. Because it's tied into the social media stuff, and I handle that more than you do, because you're usually writing stories, whatever. So I handle that stuff more. So for me, I can't just separate as easily as you can. Yeah,
I've actually I've gone back to Facebook. Facebook I like better, and I'm gonna try to get my Instagram up. A lot of people are going to Instagram, especially comics people. They're going to Instagram now, which might be a bad thing, because then it's gonna be the same people, different platform. But I guess you can mute people a lot easier over there, and you can kind of curate things a little better.
Now, there was one nice thing about Twitter yesterday, and that was about that little boy got attacked by a dog.
Oh,
so
yeah.
There was a little boy, and Bridger was his name, and a dog was lunging at his 4-year-old sister. They were at a friend's house, and their dog started coming at her, so he jumped in between his sister and the dog bit him instead. And when the dog let go, he kept screaming for his sister to run. When the dog let go, he grabbed the sister and took her to safety in the yard. So because of it, he had to go through 2 hours of surgery, he has 90-some stitches, and so Chris Evans sent a message to him about how brave he is, and he's going to send him a shield, apparently. But it wasn't just him. A lot of the different actors that were involved in superheroes and Avengers and Shazam and different people like that, they were all sending messages or trying to get in touch with them. But his parents asked him why he threw himself in front of his sister, and he said he thought if someone should die, it should have been him. Oh. And I'm like, one, that's heartbreaking. Because, why would a 6-year-old think that? Why, it sadly happens. But, he jumped in front, and I'm not going to lie and say I didn't cry, because I cried, a lot. But he saved his sister, and now they're reaching out to him to let him know what a hero he is, because he truly is.
So that's a good thing
that was a good thing on Twitter. So I want to give a good thing today because I'm tired. You know what, God? I'm so tired of all the negativity all the time and BS. I just hate it. We don't like being on here having to bring up this crap all the time. We don't like it at all. It's just that we're tired of people getting treated like crap, and then you're supposed to just say yes, thank you, give me more. Yeah,
it's so weird. I mean, we were on Wes from Thinking Critical. We were on a live stream a couple of days ago. I guess it was over the weekend. And we were talking about how we, all of this, everything we're doing now, we kind of got dragged into it by accident because there are so many crazy people out there and comics and animation and Twitter and all of that. We never set out to talk about this stuff.
No, and I'm not the type of person who'll vouch for this, that will see other people getting picked on and bullied and harassed and just going to sit there and say nothing.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Let's wrap this up. That was a little bit of good news.
Yeah, it was.
Twitter, and I wanted to put some good news in there.
Some good news from Twitter. So, yeah, I think it might be time for people to get off.
Yeah, let's do your blue check. Then by all means, stay there.
Yeah, just stay over there.
Or if you're not a blue check, but you're like one of those people, I recommend you stay on Twitter.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.